JT, the trucker guy here, and wanted to try to do a quick little video here to give you some tips and tricks on how to prepare and what you need to know about the CDL road exam. For those of you that have been following the channel, I have been here at trucking school. I came to Crowder Trucking School, part of a CFI's training program. And it's a 3-week program, and the thing about this particular program is that you're here for 3 weeks, but in the beginning of week 3 of the last week, you take your CDL exam. So for us, we just took it a couple of days ago, on the Tuesday of the last week. We took our CDL exams, and it was me and my roommate, and we both passed. So I have a CDL now, a license. I'm officially a licensed truck driver. That is crazy to think about. It has been a lot of hard work that I put into this, and I'm just very, very grateful for this opportunity, and can't explain how happy I am about being able to passing that test and having that weight off my shoulders. So I thought I would try to share my experiences, maybe give some tips and tricks on how to prepare for the road test. So for those of you that have already gotten your permits, and the next step for you is to get your actual full CDL. So you're gonna go take the road test. At least you have to wait 2 weeks before you can go and take it. This would be my first suggestion. My first suggestion would be is either, if you have somebody you know that has a semi truck, ask them if they can teach you how to back. They can teach you how to do the backing maneuvers that are required on the CDL test. How to do a straight back, how to do an offset back, how to do a parallel parking on both sides of the truck, and how to do a 90-degree alleyway back. If you don't have a friend or a family member or somebody that has a truck that can teach you how to do those things, I would highly suggest going and signing up for a school, because there's no other way you're going to be able to learn these things, and these are all the things that they're going to test you on the road test, including actually going on about a 40-minute-ish drive where you're going to do a couple of different turns. You're going to drive through city roads. You're going to drive through highways. You're gonna drive. You're gonna take some tight turns, some turns you need to take a little bit wider. You do a little bit of everything. So unless you have someone that has a truck that would be able to teach you these things, I would highly suggest signing up for a school. Another thing that's very important in this test that I think a lot of people kind of put to the wayside and maybe not think about it as much is that you have to know how to do a pre-trip inspection like the back of your hand. I mean, I say that, but obviously when you're taking the test, they're going to go on a point scale. So, but to finish on that first note, yeah. So have a friend with the truck that can teach you, or go and sign up for a driving school. So the second point would be is that pre-trip inspection is super uber important on this road examination. If you've read through any of what the process of the CDL road test is that the first part of it is actually doing a pre-trip inspection, and then doing a brake test, a service brake test, and an air brake test. So these are all things that you have to do correctly before you even get to go on the exam course or on the actual drive itself. So if you don't get enough points to pass the pre-trip inspection, if you fail your air brake test, you're pretty much done for the day. You won't be able to do anything else. So you could be the best driver in the world, but if you don't know how to do a pre-trip and you don't know how to do an air brake test, you're going to fail, and they're going to send you home for the day. In fact, I just saw somebody that unfortunately happened to somebody today, and kind of sucks. But you know, that's why it's important to get the study materials. If you're going to do it on your own, get the study materials for what it takes to do a pre-trip inspection, for what they're looking for based on your state. And most states it's pretty much the same anywhere. If you're gonna do a pre-trip inspection in one state, you're gonna do it in many other ones. So you can look it up on YouTube and whatnot. It's all the same, pretty much the same thing. But you have to know how to do that. Absolutely have to know how to do that. Don't fail your air brake test. That's another one that'll get you caught. So then after that, then you go to the examination course, where you'll do a mandatory straight back. You're gonna do at least one offset from where you finish on your straight back. So if you started your straight back on the left lane, you'll do an offset from left to the right lane. Then after the offset, you're gonna do one of 3 maneuvers. It'll either be the 90, it'll be one of the 2 parallels. It'll be driver side parallel or blind side parallel. So like I said before, practice makes perfect on all of these. If you can find a way to practice all these, hands-on practice is the best. Watching videos is okay, but you really don't get a feel for things until you get into that truck. And I think one of the best ways to do it is to sign up for a driving school. It's been a good experience for me. Now, I went the route of going through a trucking school through the company CFI that I'm going to be driving for, and they paid for all of the school, the housing. They pay for all of that, with the caveat. The caveat is you got to sign a 12-month contract to drive with them. So it's kind of it's almost like a loan, really. Like they're loaning you the funds to get to this, to go through this program. Should you decide this isn't for you, or should you decide to leave at any time, or to not fulfill your 12 months, well, guess who's paying for everything? You are. So that's how this works. But I went that route, and this program was a quick 21 days. And I gotta say, I started the week before Thanksgiving, so I got a whole full week. Then I did 3 days, this on the second week. Then we had Thursday and Friday off. We didn't even do anything. We were just off Thanksgiving and the day after. So we came back Monday, and we got a crash course of everything that we had learned in that first week and a half. All the maneuvers, with the exception of the straight back, because at this point you should know how to do a straight back after a week and a half. But we were doing offsets, we were doing 90s, we were doing parallels, all in one day, on that whole entire day on Monday. And then we went on a drive too. Went on a drive that day on Monday, one last drive. And then the next day we tested out, and we both passed. So it can be done, and apparently you can fast track this. Apparently you can fast track all this. I wouldn't recommend fast tracking it for everybody, but it worked out for me. And so I'm on my last 2 days of class coming up, and then after class is over, then that's it. We get our certificates and we get our licenses and whatnot. But I've already passed the CDL exam, so definitely get a lot of sleep before your test day. Try to get yourself a good 8 hours or more. You want to be well rested. You want to feel good when you go to take your test, or whatever time that is. Eat a meal. Don't eat a heavy one. Eat a nice light meal. Drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated, because it's very easy when you get nervous to kind of hyperventilate. And if you're dehydrated, it's not going to feel very good. So make sure you drink plenty of water as you're going to take your test and whatnot. And then just make sure that you've studied everything, that you're ready. Like I said, that pre-trip, I can't stress that enough. That pre-trip is so important. So get yourself, if you go to a school, typically they'll give you a study guide, and you can study it, and you can roll through it and whatnot. Here at Crowder, because of how fast tracked this program is, they really didn't spend a lot of time teaching us how to do a pre-trip. They gave us a study sheet, they gave us a video that we could watch in the dorms, And they pretty much put it on us to say you need to go and practice and learn your pre-trips on your own time, really. So through the weekends, some evenings, we would go out after class, or we would go out if we're on our off days on the weekend, and we would go and just run through pre-trips and whatnot. Eventually we got it, and we did good enough, obviously, to be able to pass and get our CDLs. But it is very important knowing all that. And if you don't, and if you decide to not study it and to think, you know, I don't really need to know this, I would change that mindset just a little bit, because it will cause you to fail at that point, and you won't move on to anything else. Another another couple of notes on the actual exam. A couple of things that are auto failures. If you're not finishing inside the box on any of the maneuvers, you're an automatic fail and you're done for the day, unfortunately, right? So if you can't get that truck on the straight back all the way back behind those cones, that's your day's done. If you can't get the offset completed inside of the cones, your day's done. If you can't finish inside of the cones, inside of the box for the parallel, or inside of the box for the 90, you're gonna be done for the day. I didn't have to do the 90. I got driver's side parallel, so I did that. You get about 15 minutes or so for each maneuver. So I did I kind of fumbled a little bit, but I fixed it, and I was able to do well on the parallel. The other two I did really good on. Didn't have to do the 90, but if you do have to do the 90, my suggestion would be is if you're having trouble with once you get it in the box out of the 90-degree angle, if you're having trouble figuring out how much space you have left to get into the box in the back, it's okay, and it's not going to kill you if you've done the rest of the maneuver okay, to back up a little bit more and go ahead and go past the back boundary if you're not sure if you're going to be able to get in there perfectly, because the key is that you have to finish in there. If you finish ahead of it, if you fall short and you blow the horn, you're done, you failed it. So you have to get it in the box. However, if you hit the boundary in the back, it's not a big deal for the test. They're going to blow the whistle, you're going to get a couple of points off, but you'll know when they blow that whistle that you are towards the back of the alley. You've already hit the back, right? So now all you have to do is just put it in drive and move up just a little bit, just a tiny bit, and then you're in the box, and you can honk the horn. You're not gonna get, you're not gonna get 100 or whatever. You're gonna get a perfect score, but you're gonna get enough. If you get all the rest of it right, you're gonna get enough to pass and move on. So I didn't have to do the 90, but that's kind of was the thought process. If I did have to do the 90, if I, get into the box is not really a problem, but sometimes you can't see, you can't get a good feel for if you're gonna fall into that back box or not. And if you struggle with that, or if you feel like if you get nervous or anything like that, that's kind of a tip that you can hit that back boundary. It's not over if you hit the back boundary. You're just going to get minus some points, but you can move up. And then this way you'll have a marker. You'll have kind of a way to know I'm there. I just went a little too far, and we pull up, and then I'm done. And then on the driving, obviously follow all the rules. Don't run red lights. Don't speed. Don't cut off traffic. Yield to oncoming traffic. Don't take chances. Make everything very calculated, very careful. Don't hit anybody. That should be a given. Definitely don't hit curbs. Don't run over. Get your trailer around your turns. Do whatever you can to get your trailer around your turn. Don't hit curbs. Don't hit sidewalks. Don't hit medians. Don't hit poles. I mean, just drive it and be safe. Do your 40-minute drive, and then you should be gold. I went into it a little nervous, but within the first 15 minutes of the pre-trip, I kind of locked in and felt really good. So that's what I wanted to kind of share with everybody. I know that wasn't really like a list format of tips. It was kind of a little bit everywhere, but that's the best thing that I can say out of only having been in this school for a week and a half before having to test out. Is that it can be done. It's just you pretty much at the end of the day, you get what you put into this. If you really want this enough, you'll do the studying. You'll figure out if you have to go to school. You'll get in the lots, and you'll do your thing, and you'll practice your maneuvers until you know that you got it. And so if you're watching this, good luck to you if you're getting ready to go and take your CDL. If you want, feel free to leave any comments, and I'll answer any questions that you have. Anything else that I might have missed in this little conversation, I can answer for you in the comments. But yeah, other than that, guys, I'm gonna go get some sleep here in a little bit. I'm actually kind of tired, but but yeah, guys, keep trucking, and I'll talk to y'all later.